Hello dear students, today we will discuss about some problems. Okay, so first problem, at what angle should a ray of a light be incident on the face of a prism of refractive index 60 degree so that it just suffer total internal reflection at the other face. The reflective index of a material of the prism is 1.524. Okay, so here the first one we consider that this one is a prism, and here two surface of it means two reflecting surface A, B and AC. These are two reflecting surface, and here we consider that this one is a first reflecting surface. What angle should a ray of a light be incident on the face of a prism of refractive index refractive angle 60 degree? It means angle of a prism we consider that this one is a 60 degree. Yes, and here suppose so this one is a light rays is a incident on a first surface of a prism. First surface of a prism. And here we consider that this one is the angle of incidence I1. Okay, so here we want to calculate angle of incidence I1 and angle of prism is a 60 degree. Next one, so that just suffer total internal reflection at the other surface. It means so this light ray is refracted and emergent. So this emergent ray is present along the refracted surface. Okay, so here we consider that this one is a normal and in between angle. So that's one is a 90 degree. Is normal and this reflected ray, or we consider that a emergent ray. Why? Because second surface what happens? So this light ray is a total reflected. It means a total reflection. At the other face, the refractive index of a material of a prism. So refractive index of a material of a prism already given that 1.524. Okay. So here we consider that this one is R1 and R2 and this one is I2. As first one is given data. Refracting angle. So refracting angle A is equal to 60 degree. Next one, prism refractive index. It means a refractive index of glass, or we consider that refractive index of a prism. So that's one is 1.524. Okay, so here we want to calculate the angle of incidence for a first surface. So I1 is equal to question mark. So here, so one formula is there. So that's one is sin R2 is equal to 1 by refractive index of a glass with respect to air. So this reason here 1 divided by refractive index of a glass with respect to air 1.524. It means so here we get 0.6562. 0.6562. Okay. So this reason sin R2. Okay, so we want R2 value. So sin inverse of 0.6562. It means so here we get R2 value is 41 degree. R2 value 41 degree. Okay, by using this R2 value, we want to calculate R1 value. Is you already know that angle of prism is 60 degree and R2 value is 41 degree. By using logarithm table, we easily calculate this sine inverse value. So R2 is equal to 41 degree. Okay, so you already know that angle of prism A is equal to R1 plus R2. A is equal to R1 plus R2. So this reason A value is 60 degree is equal to R1, we don't know that R1 value, and R2 value is 41 degree. So this reason R1 is equal to 60 minus 40, it means R1 is equal to 19 degree. Okay, so this R1 value we will get 90 degree and R2 value is 41 degree. Okay, so R2 is there and R1 is there. Next, so Snell's law. From Snell's law, is refractive index of glass with respect to air is equal to sin R1 divided by sin I1 angle of, it means it is the ratio of sin of angle of incidence to the sin of angle of refraction. Sin of angle of incidence to the sin of angle of refraction. Okay, sin I by sin R. Okay, so here we consider that sin I1 and sin R1 is, so this reason here refractive index of glass with respect to water, so that's one is 1.524 is equal to sin I, we don't know that angle of incidence, we want to find out this angle of incidence. So this reason here we consider that sin I1 divided by sin R1 value, so sin R1 value is 19. Okay, and here sin 19, so sin 19 value 0.3256, so this one is a sin 19 value. Okay, and here sin I1 is equal to 1.524 into, so sin 19 value 3256. It means, so here we get 4962. Okay, so 0.4962. So this one is sin I1. We want to find out I1 value, angle of incidence. So this reason here I1 is equal to sin inverse of 0.4962. So 4962, it means I1 value, it means the sin inverse of 0.4962, its value 29.7.5, it means 29 degree 75 minutes. Yes, so this one is angle of incidence for a first surface of a prism, it means I1 value. Or we consider that 29.75 degree. 29.75 degree. Okay, so our next problem, a convex lens has a focal length of 0.1 meter in air. Calculates its power if the lens is completely immersed in water. What will be the change in the power of the lens given refractive index of glass is 3/2 and the refractive index of water is 4/3. Okay, so here initially we consider that this one is a convex mirror and it's having a particular one focal length is, so here, so this power of a lens, it means it is a reciprocal of a focal length is, okay, so this convex lens focal length already given that 0.1 meter. By using this focal length, we want to calculate power of a lens is, so already given that so focal length of a lens, it means 0.1 meter, and here we want to find out power of a lens. Power of a lens, it means so this mirror, it is present in a air. Okay, so power of a lens, so power of lens is equal to question mark, it means the power of lens is equal to 1 by focal length, is 1 divided by focal length is 0.1, it means 10 diopter. So 10 diopter is a power of a lens, it means the power of a convex lens. Okay, next one, the lens is completely immersed in a water. So air, so this lens present in air and its focal length is 0.1 meter. Then what happens? So power of a lens is 10 diopter. When this lens is completely immersed in a water, it is placed in a water, then what will be the change in the power of the lens? So given data, so one is a refractive index of glass. Refractive index of glass is 3 by 2 and a refractive index of water, so that's one is a 4 by 3. Okay, by using this refractive index, we want to calculate this power of a lens when it is placed in a water. Then afterwards, so here we get a power of lens when lens it is present in a air. Afterwards we will get a power of lens when lens it is placed in a water. Then if you subtract these things, then change in power of a lens we will easily get. Okay, so here refractive index of glass is there and refractive index of water is there. You already know that focal length of a lens. So focal length of a lens formula. So here when a lens it is placed in a air, so this reason 1 by focal length of air is equal to refractive index of a glass. So glass means why? Because the lens made up of a glass, so this reason so refractive index of a glass minus 1 into 1 by R1 radius of curvature for one surface and here 1 by R2. Okay, so this reason, so this equation we consider that 1, and the focal length of lens, so in air and here in water. So this reason 1 divided by focal length of water, it means a lens it is present in a water, is equal to refractive index of water with respect to glass is, so this reason water with respect to glass minus 1 is equal to, sorry, minus 1 bracket complete 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So this equation we consider that equation 2. Okay, so here dividing equation 1 by 2. So dividing equation 1 by 2. So when dividing equation 1 by 2, then what happens? So refractive index of water divided by refractive index, focal length of a lens in water divided by focal length of a lens in water is equal to refractive index of glass minus 1 divided by refractive index of a glass minus 1 divided by refractive index of a water with respect to glass minus 1. Okay, so 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2 and here also 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So these two are cancelled. And we just split. So this one, refractive index of glass minus 1 divided by refractive index of water divided glass divided by refractive index of water minus 1. Okay, so this reason refractive focal length of a lens in a water divided by focal length of a lens in a air. So focal length of a lens in air, so that's one is 0.1. Yes, so this reason here refractive index of a glass, so that's one is a 3 by 2 minus 1 divided by refractive index of a glass 3 by 2 divided by refractive index of a water 4 by 3 minus 1. Yes, so this reason here 3 by 2 minus 1, so that's one is a 0.5. 3 by 2 divided by whole divided by 4 by 3 minus 1, it means so this value 0.1252. After calculation we will easily get this 0.1252. Okay, then afterwards here refractive index of a water is equal to 0.5 into 0.1. Yes, it means a refractive focal length of a lens in a water 0.1 into 0.1, 0.5 into 0.1 divided by 0.1252. Okay, so 0.5 into 0.1 divided by 0.1252, it means 0.4. Okay, so focal length of a lens in a water 0.4 centimeter. Okay, so here by using this focal length of a lens in a water, afterwards we want to calculate power of a lens. So power of a lens P is equal to 1 by Fw. Why? Because a lens already present in a water. So here we want to calculate power of a lens in present in a water. So P is equal to 1 by Fw. Okay, 1 divided by 0.4. Yes, so that's value 2.5 diopter. So initially when a lens it is present in a air, its a diopter value, it means a power of lens value 10 diopter. When it is placed in a water, completely immersed in a water, then what happen? So focal length value changes. When focal length value changes, it means power of lens value is also changes. So this reason power of lens value 2.5d. Yes, so here change in the power of a lens. Why? Because here completely immersed in a water, what will be the change in the power of a lens? So this reason change in power of a lens. So change in power of lens, so that's when we consider that P dash is equal to P minus PW. So this one is PW, and here we consider that a PA. A means a lens present in a air. So this reason, so P dash is equal to 10 minus 2.5. So this reason, so P dash is equal to 2.5. Sorry, 7.5 diopter. It means so power of lens changes, and the power of a lens, it means the power of change in power of lens value P dash is equal to 7.5 diopter. Okay, dear students, next problem. So this one is homework. A beam of a light converges at a point P. Now a lens is placed in the path of the convergent beam 12 centimeter from a P. Okay, so this one is a point P. Okay, and here we consider that one is a convex lens and it is placed at particular distance from P. Yes, so this point we consider that suppose a light rays passes through this lens, it means a convex lens, then what happens? So these light rays are convergent at a point P. A beam of a light converges at a point P. Now a lens is placed in the path of a convergent beam 12 centimeter from a P. Okay, so lens is placed at 12 centimeter from P. 12 centimeter from P. Okay. Next one, at what point does the beam converges? Okay, suppose, so these light rays are converges here. It means the beam converges if lens is convex lens of focal length 20 centimeter. Okay, so focal length 20 centimeter, and here, so these light rays are converges, here we get a image. Yes, so this reason here we consider that object distance is a 12 centimeter and focal length already given that 20 centimeter. Next we want to find out image distance by using formula 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. It means a lens formula 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. Then you will get a V value. Suppose here we consider that a concave length 16 centimeter. So this one is concave lens. Suppose, so these are, we consider that incident rays. Then what happens? So these light rays are diverges. Okay, and here we consider that a point P here. So point P to lens distance. So this one is already given that 12 centimeter. Yes. So this one is 12 centimeter. Then what happen if we extend these light rays? Yes, so here we get a image V. Okay, we want to find out the image distance by using the focal length is minus 16 centimeter. Why? Because already given that 16 centimeter for concave lens. So focal length is it is in negative order, and another one we consider that object distance is 12 centimeter. Object distance of 12 centimeter, focal length is minus 16 centimeter. Okay, by using this value we will we want to find out the image distance by formula 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. So this one is a lens formula. Okay.